Oh boy. Yep, I think it is. Yes. It's that time. Hello. Good morning. Oh wait. Welcome to yet another episode of Redstone LAPIS LAZULI. Hey, what's up, guys? It is I, your host, PoGokeRo. Trying to, I forgot the camera of all the things. Hey, good morning. Yeah, happy Sunday morning, happy Labor Day weekend. Oh man. Yeah, it's been pretty wild. Think. La. All right, let me adjust some of this stuff here. All right, enough work. Let's chill. All right. So here I am in my Minecraft world, doing Minecraft stuff, like working on my rail here. I am making the Billionaire's rail line. Let me recap from where we've been before. So I'm making a rail line to help people understand just how much wealth is inside the United States and where it is. So every one of these blocks on this line that I'm making is worth $100,000. So this is $100,000, this block. That's 200,000. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And this is $1 million. So your worth, your wealth is all of your assets minus all of your liabilities. So you could have like a nice car and a big house, but if you owe the bank a whole bunch of money, you don't actually own those things. You're in debt. You have a negative net worth. So you have to think of it as terms of your assets minus your liabilities. So I'm barely on this brick. I'm barely here. And most Americans, come on, we don't get very far on this thing. Maybe, if you buy a house, you have to minus the cost of the house. And a lot of times people don't pay off their houses until like they're older, because then they have to get mortgages on the house or a second mortgage or whatever to borrow more money against the equity of the house. So yeah, a lot of Americans don't get very far on this brick. Most Americans don't get very far on this brick. But then we have the billionaires. The billionaires, which are, it's nighttime. I'm gonna go take a nap or go to sleep real quick. Then we have billionaires. Billionaires are different. Their assets are worth, minus their liabilities, are worth $1 billion. And people don't understand, well, how much is $1 billion? It sounds like $1 million, but is it is there much difference between $1 million and $1 billion? Yes, there's a huge difference. Huge difference. So hey, check this out. So that's the millionaire line. Let's go hop on the billionaire line that I'm working on, because I'm not done yet. I'm still trying to make $1 billion in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That one. Still trying to make $1 billion. Now I'm not showing you this to show you how billionaire line. There goes $1 million. I'm not doing this to show you how jealous I am of people, but rather to show you the amount of power that concentrated wealth can get you. Now I was looking at this woman named Sky Dweller, who was pointing to a bunch of billionaire donors to the Democratic Party. And yeah, I looked at it, and yeah, they're there. Those donations are there. I don't see anything else. I don't see them passing policy favorable for Russia, but Nancy Pelosi is slow walking the impeachment thing. I don't know what's going on, but I don't see anything like overtly criminal yet. So yeah, this is the billionaire line. Remember, every brick is worth $100,000, and we passed $1 million way back there. So yeah, we're just know that this is all we're just doing the billionaire line. This is trying to get to $1 billion of net assets. So man, what are the big things that have happened? So many things have happened. There was another mass shooting. I don't remember where. Like I didn't even look. I can't keep them straight. There's so many. Like every week there's another mass shooting. So this is gonna make me wonder if we're already in a slow motion civil war. Because all we have are these white terrorist attacks. This white supremacy terrorist attacks. Like, and they're happening like weekly. Like, I don't know. After a while, it makes me wonder if like we're not already there in a state of war. Because I mean, one side's shooting, and yeah, more guns is not gonna make this better. So earlier this week, God, it seems so long ago, Donald Trump went to the G7, the group of seven, which are, a bunch of the strongest countries on the planet, and they get together to try to work on the problems that are going on. It used to be the G8, including Russia, but the rest of the countries kicked Russia out after Russia invaded Crimea in Ukraine. So Donald Trump came back to the G8 or the G7, and all he did was promote Russia. That's the only thing he did. He didn't do anything for the United States and himself. He promoted Russia and he promoted himself. That was it. He didn't help the United States. He didn't work on democracy. He didn't solve any of the major issues facing the world. No, he promoted Russia and himself. So yeah, I mean, at this point, if you don't know, then you probably will never know. Oh, the end of the line. Alright, so from here, I'm going to start anew. Ooh, I need that. Alright, so again, I'm still working on the billionaires line. 1, 2, I'm nowhere near done. I'm almost halfway there. So why would Trump do this for Putin? Why would he promote Russia so much over there and not promote the United States? Because, like everyone's been telling you, Trump does not represent the United States. Trump represents Putin and himself. He's a crime boss. Yeah, Putin is a crime boss, and Trump is too. So they're not interested at all in solving the world's problems. They're interested in getting more power for themselves. That's why Trump wanted to buy Greenland, to get more power for himself. It's the resources. He doesn't care about the people. He doesn't care about solving global warming. He just cares about money. Now, okay, this is interesting because you have to remember history rhymes. So, and I want to show you. Do you know about the great ancient Greek leader named Pericles? I think that's his name, Pericles. This guy was a great statesman. He was also a general. So I mean, like he fought in the war I think he fought in the Peloponnesian War, part of the Peloponnesian War. But he is from the ancient Greeks, and during the ancient Greeks, their golden age, they had a golden age after they defeated Persia the second time, and remained free. They had a golden age, and yeah, Greece was making great. Greece, Athens, well, all of Greece, all of the city-states were making great culture, had great ideas, had a great economy. And Pericles was like the leader, and he was a great guy. He was a great leader. But a bunch of rich people, weren't happy. They wanted more. And so they looked around and said, who could we invade? And they're like, oh, look, way over there is Sicily. And on Sicily, there's this city-state called Syracuse. They're a rich city-state, and they're right in the middle of the Mediterranean. So they're a great trade route, and they're rich. So if you can take over their city, you can have you'll get lots of money. So okay, not now. So the elite, the wealthy elite, wanted to start a war with Syracuse to make more money for themselves. And Pericles was like, no, dude, that's a stupid idea. It's super far away. We're doing just fine. We don't need to be greedy. Yeah, no. No. So the rich, the elites, they were different, right? Because there were two levels of elites inside of Athens at that time. There was like the traditional aristocracy, the nobility, and they were a force because they've always been a force, right? The aristocracy's always been there. But the aristocracy slowly lost their power to the rising power of the merchants. The merchant class are the people who had, did a lot of business and had a lot of money. And so they were the other force inside of ancient Greece in Athens. And there was a power struggle between these two forces of who would be the one to be leading Greek society. And their values and ideas are reflected in the kind of art and poetry and music that was created during their time. The artistic expressions of the age reflect the ruling ideas of the age. And so, I mean, this is why we know that this time was a golden age for Greece, because all these factors came into perfect balance during that time, perfect balance, and they made great art out of it, as seen in the works of Sophocles, when he mastered the form of tragedy. Because it was a balance of the two. Well, there was a balance also between the ruling classes, but eventually that balance was tipped in favor of the merchants. And what makes merchants as a ruling class different than the aristocracy is that the aristocracy had this idea of standards. Like, there are certain standards that you have to follow. And they have to be met. Like, there's a measure that is beyond everything else, and that measure is a standard. Okay, but the downfall of the aristocracy was that they could not get past the idea that that this nobility, this ability to wield power, could only come from certain bloodlines. That's what they had to believe. These noble people had to believe that you can only have nobility through blood. They had to believe that because that was the basis of their power. If they ever accepted that no, you could wield power and not be noble in blood, then their whole raison d'etre, their whole reason to be, would cease to exist, and they would have no reason to be aristocracy anymore, would they? If anyone could be noble, then you don't need to have a bunch of rich or a bunch of people with a certain kind of blood. Anyone could be noble. So they can never get past that. They can never do it, because if they did, it would ruin them. So they held on to this idea, but this idea, their contradiction, eventually lost them power. They lost power to the merchants. So the merchants, were free, of this idea of the standard. For them, the standard for the merchants, they're another ruling class. They weren't bound by this idea of power being held in the blood, but for them, instead, power was held in the money. So that you didn't need blood. You just had to have the money. But the problem there, what happened, is that they didn't have any kind of standards whatsoever. If all they cared about was money, and they didn't care about anything else, then yeah, they had no standard, right? Their only standard was money. Is this going to be profitable for me? And sure, it might be good for the short term, but there is a reason that you need standards. Like, it's not just hokey pokey stuff. Having a standard is really important because that's how you know where you are. And if you don't have standards, then you get lost really easily. So, to go back to ancient Greece, the ancient Greeks, were now starting to move under the sway of the merchants, as opposed to the aristocracy. And the merchants were all about the money. They didn't really care about anything else except short-term gain. So they see Syracuse, and they're like, yo, dude, let's go invade this island and take all their stuff. And Pericles, being of of the older crews, like, no, we ought not to do this. This is a bad idea. But somebody went around and did something. The ancient Greeks, they placed a lot of value on muses. The muse, right? What is the muse? A muse is like the idea that inspires artists to create. It's like the inspiration. And a muse it's like a kind of a goddess or something. And so the muse usually takes the shape of a woman or like something like this. Something that inspires the artist to create something. And so ancient Greece, or like the Athens, had a lot of muses that it felt were sacred and that helped artists to create wonderful things. Well, someone went around and wrecked all of them, defaced, and did vandalism on all of them, all of their muses, their statues to the muses, which pissed off all of the Athenians and then it was pinned on Syracuse. They're saying, oh, we need to go to war because the Syracuse people did this to us. And Pericles is like, no, you guys are dumb. No, they didn't. But everyone was all upset, so he had to go to war. So the war started. They got a bunch of money together and got a bunch of ships and a whole bunch of soldiers, and they went to go invade Syracuse. Well, halfway there was a big plague in Athens, and half the people died, including Pericles, the good leader. Their great leader, their wise leader, he died in the plague. So after that, now they're about to start a huge war with a big city-state against the wishes of their leader, who's now dead. But these merchants who saw short-term gain, they were all about it. So this happens, right? Greece invades Syracuse, and the ancient historian what's his name? Thucydides. Thucydides. He is the first political historian. He's great. He describes how this battle went down, and it's awful. Because like the Greeks tried to do a naval blockade, but that failed. They failed with their naval blockade. And then they tried to invade by land, but they couldn't do it because the Syracuse made a wall. So the Greeks tried to build a counter wall to enclose them in. So you got to look at this like in terms of like ancient Tron. These two armies are trying to build walls around each other. Yeah, with wood and stone and stuff. But the problem is for the Greeks is that their ships got wrecked while trying to make the blockade, so they don't have any supplies, and then they lost the wall, the wall of wars, or the war of walls. They got outmaneuvered with the walls and were cut off from their supply line. So they had no food, they had no water, they were far, far, far from home. The enemy had them surrounded. They had no ships, and they went all in for Syracuse. So eventually, the Greek troops, just went crazy because they were so thirsty. So they ran to the river, even though the river was guarded by the other army. And as they were trying to drink, they got slaughtered. And so the word got back to Athens that their troops got destroyed, and this made them sad. And then Sparta heard this and was like, oh great, this is a perfect time to start our war again. And then so after Athens lost all their army and their ships in Syracuse, Sparta restarted their battle. And they fought for another 5 years until Greece lost to Sparta. And that was and then Sparta ruled for a couple years, and then Persia came back. And that was the end of free Greece and the Greek Empire. So the moral of the story is be wary of short-term gain. Have standards about things. Standards are important. Don't get drawn into stupid things over money. Over short-term gain. So yeah, guys, no joke. I'm still trying to Ooh, I'm out of powered rail. Oh no, that's funny. I'm out of powered rail. Damn it. Alright. Do that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that, or that. History spirals. Hey, what's up, merchant dude? Hey, that's cool, look at that. Yar. I didn't see what I was building into, I just was building. So Donald wants to invite Putin back into the G7. Then Donald said, hey guys, why don't we have the next G7 meeting at my hotel so I can make money? And then Donald said, hey guys, why don't I invite Putin to the United States, to the next G7 meeting at my hotel? So that got me thinking. But technically, the United States is at war with Russia, and technically, Putin is an enemy. Putin attacked the United States. The United States is in a state of war right now. If Putin comes to the United States, Putin is fair game. He is an enemy of our country. If he comes here, he is fair game. So yeah, something else that happened last week that I didn't mention, I forgot to mention, was a billionaire died. His name was David Koch, or Koch, or whatever, Koch. David Koch. I forgot, whatever, however he says his name. He's a billionaire. F that guy. You see this line I'm on? This is the billionaire. I have not even gotten to 1 billion yet. There's still more to my tale. That guy made an argument against the quote the inheritance tax. He calls it the death tax. So what is the death tax? The death tax is a tax that people pay over like $10 million of assets when it's being transferred over in inheritance. We do this because concentrated dynastic wealth is bad. It's bad to have dynasties. It's bad to have, because dynasties lead to like kings and things like this, which is, part of the reason why we made the United States was to reject the idea of kings. So why would you create a system that encourages dynastic power, dynasties, over generations, generational wealth? Why would you create a system that encourages the concentration of extreme wealth? No, that's why you tax it. Well, the billionaires have told the rest of Americans that, the death tax is so unfair to us. It's so not fair that we have to pay a tax on our insane wealth over $10 million. Look, I'm a billionaire right now. I'm not even done with my billions. We're still riding the billion line. I'm trying to get home to get more bricks so I can keep working on the billionaire line, because we're not done yet. But this guy convinced a bunch of people that he shouldn't be paying taxes. This guy right here, I'm writing his line. I'm not even to the first billion yet. Yeah, not even to the first billion yet. And he convinced everyone that he shouldn't be taxed anymore. That you shouldn't tax him because it's not fair to him that he gets taxed. And people buy it. What? No wonder there's all this student debt, this medical debt, all these homeless people. We have it because these people like this exist, this billionaire. One person it's immoral for one person to have this much wealth. Look at this. I'm not even done. That's the sad thing. I'm not even done. It's immoral for this to happen. Imagine if we took this wealth and got some use out of it and helped people. Man. Yeah, this is the billionaire line. I'm trying to go back to get more bricks. I think I'm almost halfway there. So, yeah, David Koch died. Good riddance. We should have taken his money and helped to save people. Okay, so there was a reporter on MSNBC, Lawrence O'Donnell. He broke a story with one source, and he said that this source saw paperwork where Donald Trump had his so Donald Trump in the 80s, he went broke because all his casinos failed. Donald Trump was a terrible businessman, so he went broke after failing in with a casino. And Donald Trump has a history of not paying people back. Donald Trump does not pay people back. He's a terrible human being. So no Western banks would loan him any money. No good banks would loan him money because he doesn't pay people back, and he was worth nothing. But one bank would loan him money. This one bank was called Deutsche Bank. And this bank has a history of dealing with Russian mobsters, money laundering. They launder money. So they're the only ones who would lend money to they're the only ones who would lend money to Donald Trump. So PoGokeRo, why would Deutsche Bank lend money to Donald Trump when he doesn't pay people back? Why would they do that? Why would a bank with a history of money laundering lend money to a guy with history who doesn't pay him back? Because this bank has a cosigner, or this guy has a cosigner. And this cosigner is not just anyone, it's a bunch of Russian mobsters. So yeah, you don't not pay back Russian mobsters. So yeah, the big story that Lawrence O'Donnell told was that Donald Trump has a bunch of his loans co-signed by Russian mobsters. So that's a huge story. That confirms that Donald Trump is bought and owned by the Russians. And that's why he doesn't want to show off his tax returns. Because that'll confirm that he's broke and he's in debt to the Russian mobsters. Or at the very least, that there's some shenanigans going down. So I need a little bit more iron. Man, I'm going through the iron. Look at this iron. I just tore through it. Okay, put that back. Okay. Bricks. Stone, sure. Bricks. So this guy, Lawrence O'Donnell, ran with the story. But the problem is, or was, he only has one source. And Donald Trump, like, mobilized his legal team to attack. 1, 2. And that forced O'Donnell to back off a little bit. Because he can't outright prove it yet. So I'm like, alright, that's fine, whatever. Oh, I should have slept. Oh no, here, wait. It's not too late. No! Come back! Alright, more coffee. For one, I think it's a good idea that people start to understand that Donald Trump is a bad guy. We can see it by his behavior at the G7, when he pimped Russia and attacked everyone else. The guy, if you didn't know Donald Trump was president, you would think that he was a representative of Russia. So even though O'Donnell had to retract his story, I don't feel his credibility was all that damaged, because it wasn't like he said anything outlandish. Or anything that was out of sync with what we already know. It's already known that Donald Trump is a Russian asset. That's why there's all these investigations into Donald Trump and why he's working so hard to cover it up. Like, it's nothing like Fox News does with the Seth Rich conspiracy. Like, that was such a dumb conspiracy that was based on nothing, but Fox News ran with it for the longest time. Sean Hannity, in order to create problems. So Lawrence O'Donnell did not do what Sean Hannity did. So I don't feel that his credibility was damaged that much. But the right-wingers want you to think that his credibility is damaged, because they need to discredit the idea that Donald Trump is a Russian asset, even though we can all see it. So, there's this right-wing meme I see all the time that says rich people are job producers, and poor people are leeches. And I see that meme from the right wing a lot, and that the thing is that it's totally opposite of the way things are. Rich people are like ticks. Their bodies are just swollen in blood. Like, they're just gross. And the people who make the blood, yeah, they're the job producers. In fact, and that's not even really. Job producers. Jobs are produced by the need for things to happen. Every morning you wake up and you have a job to do. Your job is to, like, usually hit the bathroom and to feed yourself. Because if you don't feed yourself, then you're not going to get very far until you die, and then you're done. So you have to remember that humans are based on material conditions. In order for the human to exist, certain material conditions have to be met first. If you don't have these material conditions, you can't have a human. So everything else that comes after is coming out of the fact that humans have a material basis. You have to have these things before you can do anything else. Our relationship to one another and to nature is based on this fact. That we have to extract our existence out of nature continually. So you wake up in the morning, and the right-wing people, the rich people, will have you who would say rich people are the job producers. So when you wake up in the morning, what happens is rich people flew into your stomach at night and made you hungry. Oh, those rich people. If it wasn't for those rich people making you hungry, you wouldn't be hungry. Well, no, dude. No. You have a material basis. Your body needs certain things in order to keep going. It has nothing to do with rich people. And to satisfy that requirement is a job. It wasn't given to you by the rich people. It was given to you by God. So if you want to get down to it, God is the job producer. Oh man, this billionaire line is ridiculous. What a nice little forest, little flower forest. All right, this is too crazy for me, guy. Okay. Oh yeah, dude. Donald took a picture of our spy satellite photo and uploaded it to Twitter. This is like the dumbest thing he's ever, well, one of the dumbest things. He's done a lot of stupid things, but this is really stupid. It cost billions of dollars to put that satellite up in orbit. And our enemies were totally unaware of what it is that we could do, our capabilities. And Donald just, like, told everyone which satellite it was, what are our capabilities, and yeah, tons of stuff. Like, what can we do? Donald just put it out there. So he helped our enemies again by doing this. And why did he do it? I don't know. Maybe to help Russia. I don't know. But he took a picture of classified information. Like, and I remember when conservatives were like, oh my god, Hillary had a private email server, it could have got out, secret information. And here's Donald Trump just like tossing it out willy-nilly. And they don't say anything. That's because right-wingers operate in bad faith. They don't care, they have no standards. In Georgia, there was an undercount of votes by 127,000 votes that they found after the election. That they just lost them. And these votes primarily came from black neighborhoods. So that's more evidence that the vote in Georgia was stolen, that Georgia is not a free state. It's under minority rule right now. Illegitimate rule. Brian Kemp is not a legitimate governor. But that just goes to show you, right? There's two forces in the United States at work. Oh, there's our dude. There are two forces at work in the United States. One, two, three. No! Well, that's fine. Okay. There's the Confederates, the white supremacists, who want to build an ethno-state for white people. And then there's, well, the rest of us, who follow the American ideals of truth, justice, and liberty for all. And these two groups are incompatible. They won't work. They can't work together. Their ideas are different. They have different sets of standards. So I was reading this great thread, and I forgot the guy's name. I gotta look it up again. But in this thread, he tells why the not all men or not all white people, why that meme is broken. And the way he tells it is like this. I gotta look up his name. He's like, imagine that there's 13 kids in a classroom. Let's see. How does he do this? Okay, 13 kids in the classroom. 3 of the kids wear brown shirts. And 10 kids wear white shirts. Now, for some reason, every day, the white shirt kids get to leave class early before the brown shirt kids. That's just the way it is. And then when the brown shirt kids go outside, 6 of the 10 white shirt kids, 6 of the 10 start bullying and beating up the brown shirt kids and steal their money. Okay, so the brown shirt kids, like, they try to say something about this, but the 4 white shirt kids say, well, it's not all the, whenever the brown shirt kids try to say something about how they get beat up and get their money taken and how they're treated differently and have to leave after class, and treated worse than the white shirt kids. Every time they bring that up, the 4 white shirt kids that don't do this, they say, hey guys, it's not all white shirt kids. But that's the problem. That doesn't help anything, dude. You didn't do anything. They're not saying all white shirt kids. They're not saying that. They're saying what happens to them. And by you saying not all white shirt kids, you are absolving yourself of the responsibility of taking action to right this wrong, because it's a wrong, and you have to do the right. It's gonna stay wrong until you do something to fix it. So instead, what you should do, instead of saying not all white shirt kids, instead of saying that, what you should do is be an ally. So what does that mean? What does that look like? Okay, the next time class was dismissed, all the white shirt kids got to leave early. So 6 of the 4 white shirt kids got up and left. But the other 4 white shirt kids didn't leave. They stayed there. They stayed there in solidarity with the brown shirt kids. And so it was 7 kids, 4 white shirt kids and 3 brown shirt kids. They all stayed in the classroom. So afterwards, after class, they all left. All the second group left. And when they were outside, the 6 white shirt kids started to bully the brown shirt kids. But the 4 white shirt kids, who were allies of the brown shirt kids, stepped in and said, hey, dude, don't do that. And they talked to him. And they said, hey, it's not cool that you do that. And they defended the brown shirt kids. So that's what it means to be an ally. When you say things like not all men or not all white people, what you're doing is you're absolving you're washing your hands. You're being Pontius Pilate. You're washing your hands of responsibility, and by washing your hands of responsibility, you absolve yourself of taking action, of the need to take action. And then that means you're no ally at all. You're not an ally. So I gotta look up his name, but I think that example was awesome. I love that example. I gotta find out who that guy was again. Crazy, huh? The Billionaire's line, not even done yet. Oh, I'm out of rails. Make some more. Okay, hold on, let me do this one here and then I'll look up my next topic. Yeah, I've been doing this show forever, my god. What am I doing? I'm gonna run out of levers. Really? I only have one? Oh, I only have a little bit of cobblestone. Oh no. I get more cobblestone. Yeah, wow, this is billionaires. All right, I'm gonna hope. Oh wait, oh, that's the end. Okay. Just about out of sticks or out of levers. All right, over the ocean. Okay, next topic. Oh yeah. So things feel weird. I feel like we're going through a paradigm shift right now. So the oligarchs, the way they see it, is that they're gonna break off the Anglo Commonwealth. They see that's why the Anglo nations are gonna become like its own block. It's the way they see it, and they're gonna team up with all these other oligarchs. I don't know. I don't want to talk about that. But yeah, that's what's happening. In England, the people are starting to go nuts there because Boris Johnson got the Queen to accept the suspension of Parliament, and that's a big deal because now that Parliament is suspended, you can't you have less time to do something to avert Brexit. Boris Johnson doesn't want to avert Brexit. He wants a no-deal exit, Brexit, which means there's going to be a fire sale on assets in England. Things are going to be cheap to buy because it's going to be a panic. And there's going to be huge disruption in trade. So this gives an opportunity for rich people to make even more money and cause lots of suffering for everyone else. Yeah, I'm a no Brexit. I'm a Remainer. What I mean, it's not even about me, right? It's about I'm not doing it because I personally will benefit. I think Remain should stay. They should stay and remain because it's better for all of us, for the group of democracies that represents quote quote the West. All right, for Western ideals, it's best if we hang together. But oligarchs aren't necessarily down with Western ideals. They're in it for themselves. They don't really care. Oh man, that's gnarly. What am I going into? I don't know, I look really far out there. I'm like looking way at the big picture. It's kind of hard to like bring it back down to like little tiny things. All right. Like I meant to do it. Yeah, standards are important. But you have to have the right standards. It's not just having standards, but having the right standards. If your standard is, oh, you have to have a particular kind of blood that only works for blood transfusions. it doesn't work for anything else. Yeah, we need gun control, guys. I like Beto O'Rourke's idea to buy back all the guns. Like, let's get them off the street. For real. Let's get out of here. This is such a bad place to be. And it's only going to get worse because that's what Donald Trump represents. Crap. You know what? I need to back up so I can go around this, because look at that. I mean, I guess I can plow through it. Ooh. Break on through to the other side. Hey, this is my cobblestone. So far for 1 billion, my gosh. My gosh! What else is going on? Bernie Sanders introduced a huge plan for a Green New Deal. I like his idea. I like Bernie Sanders a lot. I like Elizabeth Warren a lot. Someone I do not like a lot, that I do not like, is Tulsi Gabbard. Tulsi Gabbard, I think, is a Russian plant. She is being supported by Russians. I don't like Tulsi Gabbard at all. Okay. Oh wow, look at that. It's above the mountain, or the clouds even. Skyrock. Let's see, how close are we? Nowhere near. I should almost make like a nether portal. This is just getting ridiculous. So yeah, let's see. Anything else going on? Let me check my chat here. Oh yeah, all that chat going on. Let me see. Nothing. All right. Still looking for a co-host. Anyone wants to hop in and play WoW with me and BS about stuff? Straight into a tree. This is crazy. Mining. Yeah, back to this again. What else is going on? Yeah, I went out this weekend on Friday. Went out one day. I had a nice conversation with someone, a very funny young woman, who was telling me that she buys her merch, she buys her own stuff. Of course, she laughs at herself. I'm like, all right, that's cool. That's a good idea. I mean, you gotta be able to laugh at yourself. You gotta think you're, that you're worth it. That you gotta buy your own stuff. You gotta buy yourself. I thought that was a good way of putting it. I like how she put that. It's a good idea. Buy yourself. Be into yourself. Buy your own merch. Oh, yep. This is going ocean time. Of course, it'll be really bad if I fall, because I have no way of getting back up. I'd have to build a pillar from the very ocean floor. Oh man. Don't fall. Yeah, so what else is going on? Oregon Democrats decided not to oh no. Kate Brown is going to change the new death penalty law to not be retroactive. So yeah, Oregon was going to abolish the death penalty, but I think the Democrats are going to try to make it so it's not retroactive. So if you're sentenced to death before this law, then the state is still going to kill you. And I think that is wrong and unjust. The death penalty is no good. We shouldn't be using it. What else is good? What else is going on? Coffee? No, I don't know. I had this coworker ask me for my number again. He's like, "Hey, I'll give you a call this weekend," and he never does. I have to remember that yeah, some people will tell you off in the nicest way possible. And I just gotta learn how they do that. Dope. So yeah, in the darkness. Ooh, look at those over there. What is that? Well, I'll check it out another time. Let me cross the ocean first. $100,000. School, or college. House. House, college. Like, I can't even believe this. One person owns all these bricks, and we're not even done. We're nowhere close to being done. Oh, just about out of bricks. Yeah, don't fall here. Oh, there's a little island there. It's a square, exactly square. Oh, it's gone! So I guess we're just out in the middle of the ocean. Alright. Well, I'll stop the show from here for now. And, in the middle of the ocean. I'll catch you next time, guys. Alright, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm still working on the Billionaires line. That's why we need to tax the billionaires. Because look how dumb this is. I'm not even done yet. Alright, check you out next time. Peace! PoGokeRo out!